The Hague Institute for Global Justice is a think and do tank which carries out policy-relevant research, innovative training activities, convening activities through roundtables, through public events, and works at issues at the critical intersection of peace, security, and justice. We have three key programs that we work on: conflict prevention, rule of law, and global governance. Well, the Hague Approach consists of 6 principles aimed at achieving sustainable peace in post-conflict situations. It was commissioned by the municipality of The Hague, and it was launched at the centenary of the Peace Palace last August. We presented the principles to the King and to the Secretary General of the United Nations, Ban Ki-moon. These 6 principles underline first the importance of conflict prevention, because conflicts devastate societies economically, politically, and of course the human costs are huge, and conflict prevention is critical. Preventing both the onset of conflict, managing conflicts when they recur, and preventing recurrence of conflict. The rule of law is also an important principle, because the rule of law is at the heart of a just society. Without the rule of law, nothing is possible. You cannot have political stability, you cannot have economic development, and people have to have the assurance that the rule of law is there for their protection. The third principle underlines the fact that in post-conflict environments you have a number of actors who are involved, and whether they're governments, whether they're international organizations or regional organizations, but all these actors and their resources have to be brought together in a coherent and flexible network. Another principle recognizes that an important actor in post-conflict environments is, of course, the private sector. And the private sector has to be brought in to help to rebuild societies. It is also, we underline in the Hague Approach, that peace building works when local people believe it is their idea. And this means that communication between peace builders and the local people has to be a two-way process if peace building is to be successful. And the final principle underscores the fact that the international community has a responsibility not only to protect and rebuild, but a responsibility to learn from the local people, to learn about their country, to learn about their customs, and to use that knowledge in terms of future peace-building operations. Well, the Hague Approach builds on previous peace-building experience, but clearly the international community has to improve its track record in terms of helping societies after conflict have durable peace and have stability. And so the 6 principles are aimed at policymakers who are trying to formulate future peace-building operations. And we think focusing on conflict prevention, the rule of law, networks, the private sector, strategic communication, and learning from experiences in various peace-building missions would help policymakers in the future. And there are a tremendous number of conflicts around the world, and we have to do a better job to make sure that we prevent conflicts from happening in the first place, that we manage spread and escalation, and that we also make sure that conflicts do not recur. And these principles are offered to policymakers with that in mind. At the Hague Institute, we're working on 3 programmatic areas: conflict prevention, we're also working on the rule of law, and we're working on global governance. All of these 3 programmatic areas we think are vital for addressing key global issues which are confronting the international community.